You're trying to read the room, scanning for tension, looking for tells, watching body language, and you're getting it wrong. Not because you lack observation skills, because you're dysregulated, and a dysregulated nervous system can detect accurate baselines. Here's what years in counterintelligence operations taught me: threat detection isn't about spotting danger, it's about spotting deviation. But if your internal state is chaotic, everything looks like a deviation. You'll see threads that aren't there and miss the ones that are. So before you can read anyone else, you have to stabilize yourself. A few years back, I was working with the source in the Middle East. My partner was running the interaction, and at one point, the source started talking about barbecuing, how he enjoyed it, how he made his own sauces, and then watch how he shifted. He became more animated, his facial expressions got bigger, his hands were moving everywhere. He was occupying more space. It was a clear deviation from his baseline. My partner missed it completely. He was nervous about being the lead, and his own dysregulation kept him from noticing what was happening in front of him. He didn't ask any follow up questions, just moved on. The next meeting, I brought the store some barbecue utensils. He felt heard. He became significantly more cooperative after that. And all that because I noticed what my partner couldn't. So let me break down what happened there. One, you can't establish someone else's baseline if you don't have your own. A regulated nervous system creates a stable reference point. Without it, you're comparing noise to noise. Two, behavioral anomalies only matter if you know what normal looks like. But normal shift depending on your state. If you're anxious, calm looks suspicious. If you're angry, neutral looks passive aggressive. Your filter determines what you see. Three, the best observers aren't the most vigilant. They're the most grounded. Vigilance without regulation is paranoia. An exhausted system doesn't detect patterns, it detects ghosts. Now, here's where most people get this wrong. They think awareness is about paying more attention, about watching harder, scanning faster, and looking for micro expressions. But that's not awareness, that's hypervigilance. And hypervigilance destroys pattern recognition. Because when your system is flooded, you stop seeing patterns. You start seeing confirmations of what you already believe. Let me pause here. This isn't abstract psychology. This is operational reality. If you walk into a negotiation already activated, you won't read the room, you'll project onto it. I've seen people misread entire meetings because they were internally escalated before they walked in. Someone asked a clarifying question and they heard a challenge. Someone paused to think and they see resistance. Someone offers a different perspective and they feel attacked. None of that was real, but their nervous system made it real. Regulation first, observation second, not the other way around. So here's how I actually do this. Three steps, simple but not easy. Step one, establish your own baseline. Before you assess anyone else, you assess yourself. Heart rate, breathing pattern, muscle tension. You need to know your starting point. You can't measure deviation if you don't know your center. This takes 30 seconds and most people skip it, but without it, every observation is distorted. Step two, enter the environment neutral. No assumptions, no predictions, no narratives. You're not looking for what confirms your hypothesis, you're looking for what is. Someone's been short with you once, so every interaction feels cold. Someone questioned your idea last week, so now you hear resistance in every comment. You're not observing, you're confirming. Step three, let the baseline reveal itself. Watch without interpretation, let the person or the room settle into their normal, then start tracking deviation. Most professionals try to read people in the first 30 seconds, and that's not reading, that's guessing. So let me put you in a scenario. You are in a leadership meeting, someone in your team is off, quiet, distant, short responses. Your first instinct is something is wrong, but you don't actually know their baseline. Is this unusual for them or is this Tuesday? You can't tell because you're reading from your baseline, not theirs. Now, at this, you're also stressed. Three fires burning, a deadline closing in, a decision you're avoiding. Your nervous system is running hot. So when you look at this person, what do you see? Not their behavior, your projection of threat. You interpret silence as hostility, brevity as disengagement, and now you respond to a problem that doesn't exist. You pull them aside, you probe, you create tension where there was none. Here's the pattern: dysregulated leaders create the very problems they're trying to prevent. They see withdrawal and push harder. They sense distance and demand closeness. They detect resistance and escalate control, not because the threat is real, because their system told them it was. A leader walks in activated, the room is going to pick up on it. People get quiet, cautious, careful. The leader reads that as confirmation, but the thing that's wrong is the leader's state. Now, everyone's managing the leader's nervous system instead of doing their work. Same principle, different context. You are in a high stake negotiation. The person across the table hesitates before answering. You flag it. Is it deception? Uncertainty? Calculation? The pause might mean nothing or it might mean everything, but you can't know which unless two conditions are met. One, you're calm enough to observe without reactivity. Two, you know how they normally process questions. If you're anxious, that pause will feel like evasion. If you're suspicious, it'll feel like confirmation. But if you're regulated, you'll notice whether the pause fits a pattern. In my work, the best reads don't come from watching faster, they come from watching clearer. You're not guessing at meaning, you're watching behavior without adding interpretation. Then you test, you ask a follow up question, you offer space, and the truth reveals itself. Now, this is critical. Baseline detection isn't just about other people, it's about environments. Every room has a rhythm, every team has a normal. When you're regulated, you feel it. When you're not, you misjudge it. I've seen leaders walk into calm rooms and create chaos, not because the room was tense, but because they were. Their dysregulation introduced a variable. If you can regulate yourself, you can lead a room. If you can establish your own baseline, you can read theirs. None of that works if your nervous system is in threat mode. So, what does this make you? Not just observant, operationally calm. Operational calm isn't about feeling relaxed, it's about maintaining a stable internal reference point under pressure. The people who master this don't look like they're trying. They have regulated their system to the point where clarity is automatic. They walked into high stakes rooms and immediately sense what's real, not because they're more perceptive, but because they're not adding their own static to the signal. They read the room as it is, then respond accordingly. Danger shows up as deviation, but you can't detect deviation if you don't know normal, and you can't know normal if your baseline is chaos. Regulate first, observe second. The room will tell you everything you need to know.